A family is desperate for answers after a mother disappeared after work 5 days ago.
And her family fears something may have happened to her. They say it is just not like her to leave her 4-year-old son.
The family members say 21-year-old Deundrea Ford had only worked as a dancer here at Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill for a few weeks. It's the last place anyone saw her.
If anyone has her, that they release her and let her come home. We just want her home.
Tonight, her family is pleading for help. They say they knew something was wrong when Deundrea went days without contacting her 4-year-old son.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not her normal behavior.
Family members say the club showed them surveillance video from that night. Tonight, the club's manager says the video has been turned over to police. Family says it showed Deundrea leaving with a man, getting into his van in the parking lot after the club closed. They stay there for more than an hour.
Well, she entered the vehicle with him. Whether she left, with him willingly or unwillingly, that's something that we can't answer.
After that, her family says one of her friends got a missed call from Deundrea at about 2 o'clock Friday morning. By later that day, family members say Deundrea's phone had been turned off and their calls went straight to voicemail. They say it's been off ever since.
Her phone has not been powered back on. There's been no reception or no direct contact with her.
Tonight, new details on the missing Houston woman who was last seen getting into a van outside of the bikini bar where she worked as a dancer. Court documents now show that Deundrea Ford, she was a key witness in a capital murder case.
Police have no new details on Deundrea's whereabouts, but our newsroom has managed to find out that the 21-year-old was a witness in a shooting in May that left one man dead. 4 people were arrested in this case, including a former Harris County detention officer. Court documents state that on May 10th, Deundrea Ford and 21-year-old Kitiana Taylor traveled to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to work as dancers and prostitutes for clients brought to them by 35-year-old Otis Parker. Parker was driving Taylor and Ford home from Louisiana with the cash the women made there, according to documents. Police say text messages from Taylor indicate she was planning a setup to rob Parker of at least $1,500 in cash when they arrived at an apartment complex on Selinsky Road early that morning. Parker was shot and killed. 22-year-old Jamal Brown, also known as Bam, was listed as the shooter, and 22-year-old Jarrell Wheeler was listed as an accomplice, along with Kitiana Taylor and 20-year-old Mariah Green. Jamal Brown was killed a month later in a shootout with police. He had been on the run from the capital murder charge. The 3 other suspects, including Jarrell Wheeler, a former Harris County detention officer, remains in jail. Now, whether or not the shooting in May is related to Deundrea Ford's disappearance, that's yet to be confirmed.
Police say this man has been arrested in connection with the disappearance of a Houston woman. Yoland Washington is now charged with murder. He's currently behind bars in Dallas awaiting transport back to Harris County. He's charged in the disappearance and presumed death of Deundrea Ford. Her body has not yet been found. Ford was last seen on September 22nd. Court documents state surveillance video from that night shows her getting into Washington's van in the parking lot of the bar she worked at. The documents also state Ford's blood-stained clothing was later found in Washington's van. Tonight, new details in the alleged murder of a Houston mom. Police say they are charging 51-year-old Yoland Washington in the death of Deundrea Ford. The 21-year-old was last seen alive at her job at Diva's Bikini Sports Bar, where family believes she was kidnapped. Troy Kless joins us live after going through several pages of court documents, and we do want to warn our viewers the details are disturbing. Troy.
Yeah, Marcelino, well, I spoke with Ford's uncle on the phone earlier today. He says that the family is really distraught right now. Meanwhile, the suspect in this case is waiting to be extradited back to Houston.
On September 22nd at Divas in East Houston is where Deundrea Ford was last seen. Documents say she met Yoland Washington there, and surveillance cameras showed the two going into a van together around 1:23 a.m. Washington allegedly told detectives that he paid Ford for sex. Charging documents say surveillance video showing Ford getting into the back of the van is the last time she's seen alive. Over an hour later, Washington gets into the front seat and drives away. When we spoke to Ford's family in September, they were worried.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not This is not her normal behavior.
Ford's phone was found the same morning, but Washington and his van were found in Virginia days later. Ford was not in the van, but deputies found blood in multiple areas of the vehicle. According to these court records, DNA consistent with the victim was found mixed with the defendant's DNA in bloodstains found on a shirt the suspect was wearing the night of Ford's disappearance. Documents describe searches at several locations in Houston, but Ford's body has not yet been found. On October 25th, Washington was arrested at his home in New Jersey.
And Marcelino, like you said, these 5 pages of court documents here have so many more gruesome details about this case. Now, as for where the suspect is tonight, he is currently being held in the Dallas County Jail on an unrelated charge of sexual assault. Reporting live.